In this video, I will discuss dosing glutamine. In other words, what are the typical dosages of glutamine to use for various purposes? Before we start, I need to point out there are some new forms of glutamine being heavily promoted. Avoid these. I have talked about this in other videos, but the bottom line is, just use the L-glutamine powder form. I believe the best form is a micronized L-glutamine powder. The advantages are a very high absorption rate, widely studied with decades of clinical use behind it, and lastly, it allows for customized dosing. Pills and capsules are more expensive and are slower to be absorbed. I get 600-gram containers of L-glutamine powder, and I wouldn't switch to the other forms for the life of me. Moving forward. Glutamine is soluble in water and is readily absorbed by intestinal cells. Supplemental glutamine does not require digestion, and it easily crosses the blood-brain barrier. It is certified to be safe in dosages as high as 70 grams per day. Glutamine supplements have high bioavailability and rapidly raise plasma levels and glutamine stores in the muscle. Glutamine's positive effects can take up to a month to add up to significant levels. Have patience and be consistent with this supplement and you will be rewarded. However, effects such as easing queasiness of the stomach can be rapidly felt with a single 5-gram dose in a glass of water. Let's talk dosages. For healthy people who are interested in gastrointestinal and immune support, it is best to use 2 to 5 grams per day with water right after a meal. For healthy people who engage in intense and regular physical exercise, a good dosage is 10 grams per day in 2 doses, after exercise and before bed. For bodybuilding, endurance training, or other very serious athletes, use 20 grams per day in 2 to 4 doses. If you are interested in boosting growth hormone levels, you should know just 2 grams produce a boost in 30 to 60 minutes. For boosting growth hormone levels, lower dosages and repeated use throughout the day is advised. Glutamine has also been used for AIDS, surgery, and chemotherapy. Use 20 to 40 grams per day if you have these problems. For colitis, Crohn's disease, or diarrhea, 20 grams per day of glutamine. For gastrointestinal upset, 5 grams dissolved in water on an empty stomach will quickly soothe you. For irritable bowel syndrome, leaky gut, or wound healing, 40 grams per day have been used. For preventing bacterial and viral diseases, 5 to 10 grams per day are sufficient. Use consistently, not as a quick fix. Glutamine can be used for hypoglycemia and alcohol withdrawal. 2 to 35 grams per day have been used to achieve positive outcomes. You can also use glutamine for depression. For depression, just 2 grams per day have been shown beneficial. As an adjuvant for sickle cell anemia, the optimal dosage of glutamine is 30 grams per day. For total parenteral nutrition, 25 grams per day of glutamine are used. For glutamine, more is better. But if you're healthy, then high doses, over 20 grams per day, have diminishing returns. This is because it will tend to be used as an alternative fuel, a replacement for glucose. In this video, you have learned what are the optimal dosages of glutamine to use for various purposes and conditions. Remember, glutamine can be used with or without food. It is soluble in water, and it is best used multiple times throughout the day, preferably with or after a meal. For purposes of life extension, disease prevention, and optimal energy, the best thing to do is use glutamine every day in 2 5-gram doses. Glutamine is a part of my essential nutritional supplement stack. If you want to see which are the exact products I use, then go to damianalexander.com/glutamine. If you would like to learn more about critical nutritional supplements, life extension, and disease prevention, then subscribe to my YouTube channel at Damian Alexander's Vids. And if you want to learn the easiest and shortest way to double physical and mental energy, strengthen immunity, and restore health, then visit howtochangeyyourownbatteries.com.